Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm Rick H. and there's Derek Relaford. How you doing, Derek?
Doing good. We got Lori Hayes from Hayes in the house already.
Oh, wow.
We got Christopher Unruh here. Andrea Lynn Vian Toman is here from Junction City. We got Farmington in the house with Luana. Dottie's watching in Fort Scott. Kim's in Newton. Trisha Arnold holding it down over in YouTube. And Melissa from Southeast Kansas. Roxanne's here every week.
Do you know?
Roxanne's here every week from Southeast Oklahoma.
Yes, she is. Greatly appreciated, too.
She is a very awesome person. And then we got Leavenworth in the house. Ellen's here. And then Jason's here. He's here all the time, too. Victoria, Kansas in the house. We got a lot going on this week. First and foremost, everybody, you're going to see that our flyers and our located safe video tonight aren't going to be they're not going to have that Brandon touch to them. We've had some issues come up this week. Back Home Meat is a small company. We're a very brand new company, and we're a very poor company. So Brandon's computer actually was jolted by some kind of electrical surge at his house. So we are down. Our producer is down a computer right now. So we made some flyers on the fly. We're trying our best to get the funding together so we can go ahead and get Brandon back up and running. But the flyers will be looking a little different until we get that going. But that's what's going on. But what's going on with you, Ricky?
No, not a lot. Just another typical, if you want to call it a day off. I think I stay busier on my day off than I do at work.
Yeah.
I have to go back to work to relax.
Are you off a lot next week?
Next week, I have a 6-day stretch after today.
Oh, yeah, because you're in retail. So that means that there's no holiday for you, especially Thanksgiving.
Right. I'll be off on Thanksgiving, then have to work the day after Thanksgiving, then I'm off the weekend after that. So
you all don't open on Thanksgiving Day?
Nope.
That's good. I know a lot of places just straight up open on Thanksgiving Day.
Yep. My daughter's already got my day planned that day. She said Thanksgiving's going to be daddy and daughter time that day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's birthday's on Tuesday, so I took the day off of work, got some PTO. Gonna hang out, watch some TV, go get some lunch, just hang out and have a birthday. But we do have an action-packed show for you all tonight. We want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Thank everybody for hanging out with us last week. We did not get to the comments very much last week, and that's because last week we were experiencing the computer issues and stuff that we were talking about earlier last week. That actually started last week. So we had a lot going on backstage last week, and we didn't get to the comments as much as we'd like to. So apologies for that. And then we have Roxanne saying her birthday is Monday. Well, there we go. Everybody's having a birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah.
It looks like Brandon did pop up backstage.
Brandon is backstage. He's on a Chromebook.
He's on a Chromebook.
It's barely hanging on by a thread while he's on there, but yeah, we have a lot going on. Yeah, happy birthday from Lori Hayes over there to Roxanne.
Sweet.
Well, we're gonna have a great show for you tonight. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, real quick, and we're gonna come back with some cases. We'll be right back after this.
All right. Now we're going to start off with Alex Perez tonight. We've been covering him every show since we were first notified that he had went missing. And he's missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st of 2020. He's 35. He's 5'11", weighs 235, black hair that he shaves off bald, and brown eyes. He contacted a family member via telephone on December 1st and advised he'd be coming over to do some laundry. He never arrived at the family member's home in Ulysses, and he's not been heard from or seen by family or friends since then. And he had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It was initially believed that he may still be in the local Ulysses area or in the Garden City or surrounding areas. As we've talked about in the past, some not so good information has surfaced suggesting that may not be the case. Again, he's 35, he's 5'11", 235, has black hair that he shaves off bald and brown eyes, has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He has Perez tattooed on one of his arms. He has a tattoo of a cross on a chain across his chest. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't get some information rounded up and get him brought home.
Yeah. It's been just way too long.
Yeah, he definitely needs to be brought home. Definitely does.
I have a feeling when we show this flyer, it makes people uncomfortable.
It could be. We need to keep making it uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we'll see you next week if this makes you uncomfortable, because we're not going to stop. And it's coming on a year. And
yeah, it is.
It's just, I don't know. That's a long time to be missing.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. We have a comment here earlier. They said, where's it at? Anything more on Kenny? We actually have his flyer coming up next.
Yeah.
We've been covering Kenny quite a bit lately too, because November is going to be the 2-year mark for him, being missing. So we definitely want to keep covering this one as well.
Yeah, it's actually a little over 2 years now because we're on November 18th. So
yeah,
missing from Salina, Kansas, since November 4th of 2019. He was 69 when he went missing. He's now 71. He's 5'9", 175 pounds. Gray hair and blue eyes. He does suffer from diminished mental health capabilities. He is on disability, but he's not tried to access any of his money since he was last seen. He does have family, possibly around the Colby area. He does not have a cell phone or a vehicle. We knew that he had a bicycle at one time, and there's been some confusion whether it was stolen or replaced or whatever. Again, he was 69 when he went missing. He'd now be 71. He's 5'9", weighs 175, has gray hair and blue eyes. And as we've talked about, when we've covered his cases before, I've talked to Kenny off and on a lot during my teen years when I was like 14, 15, 16, when I would see him playing pinball or video games at the gas stations and whatnot. Just the nicest guy. I mean, he'd talk to anybody and everybody. I mean, I never heard him say a crossword to anybody. So I'd really like to get him found and know that hopefully he's okay, and find out that he's okay. Right. And if anybody has any information at all regarding his disappearance, or you may know where he's at, or if you've seen him or anything, call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't figure out what happened to him, where he's at. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's safe wherever he is. And hopefully Kenny will reach out. Another thing about him is he used to always pick up scrap metal around town and took it down to Salina Iron and Metal and would cash it in for a few bucks. And they have not seen him for a very long time either. So hopefully, go ahead.
Considering he didn't have an ID or anything like that, he doesn't strike me as somebody who really lived by the book. So there's always this narrative in my head that maybe he just picked up and left. And somebody who doesn't have an ID, doesn't operate that way. Mm-hmm. Maybe he, because obviously if Kenny survived that long in the Salina area and in surrounding areas without an ID, he's collecting metal and he's turning it in for money. Kenny knows how to survive. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's somebody who knows how to get money where he needs money. He knows where to find shelter. So I mean, there's always the scenario that he just said, I'm done with Kansas and I'm going to go on. And
Right.
obviously, Kenny doesn't have a Facebook more than likely. Like he's not somebody
Right.
like you or me that would be online. So, obviously, it's very scary, and you got to wonder if there's something that maybe an accident or some foul play. But I mean, every time we share this flyer, I see an ornery old man that can probably just be, somewhere safe as sound, just not even aware that he's missing, if he's just like in another state or somewhere. So, he reminds me of my grandpa Trevino. Just kind of just went with the wind, kind of went wherever and just kind of very, very, not like, just didn't have an ID and stuff like that. Rambling, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. So there's always a chance,
Yeah. And he was known to use the last name Brown. So, I mean, he did use the name Kenneth Brown. The only other information we really know is he was evicted from his apartment over by the police department, and police took him out to the Gospel Mission, which is essentially a homeless shelter for men. And he was apparently having issues with somebody at the mission and decided to leave the mission. And that's the last place he was known to be and last place he was seen. So, hopefully we can get some information to figure out what may have happened to him after he left the mission or where he may have went.
Right.
And I know people have brought this up in the past too. We don't know who it was he was having an issue with at the mission, but kind of got to wonder, do police know and have they ever talked to him?
Right.
Because that would be interesting information to find out.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I was watching a detective show, like a true crime show, and it was about John Benet Ramsey, and they had all this, all this police work done that was all kind of aimed towards like the parents did it, like that was pretty much where the investigation stayed for the longest time. So they brought in an outside person, and he basically, his philosophy was, crimes are pretty easy to solve. You just, what makes the most sense of what can happen. And what he did was he was able to look that, there was a window. There was a possible way for people to get through that window. And basically, I mean, obviously we don't know who killed John Benet Ramsey, but like what he taught me was that a lot of times when it comes to digging into stuff, it's really just about asking a couple of questions, and really just, I don't know. It's like just thinking about like if he had a problem with somebody the week when he is missing, like I think there's a lot to that. I don't know who that person was, but I feel like you're right. That's the first place to go and, get some hot lights on some people and be like, what is going on? What do you know about where Kenny is?
Right.
I mean, I feel like people obviously know stuff. It's just getting them to talk, She says, Andrea says, I know it was very scary. I hope we can find him. He's a good person. I hope nothing has happened to him. Kenny is not a fighter. He is a great man. Oh, I mean, Ricky said he's Ricky's known about Kenny his whole, since he was 16, 15 years old. He just reminds me of my grandpa, just a guy that just kind of, my grandpa was just, he collected metal like that, and he could kind of live wherever he wanted,
right?
Because you can collect metal pretty much anywhere, and that's just that my grandpa, we never made a flyer, but he definitely went unaccounted for a lot of times. But we knew he was probably, but with Kenny, this is a lot different. This has been 2 years. I'm just trying to have some kind of glimmer of hope that maybe he's out there just collecting metal still somewhere, just maybe not in Kansas. I hope that's what's going on.
Right.
Yeah. She said he mentioned he used the last name Brown. Denise is in the house.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that he used the last name Brown, but he was known to use the last name Brown, so it might be something to keep in mind too.
Something to look at. Okay. We're going to cover 2 more cases real quick, and we're going to take a break. We are going to cover Colton Ross Pereira. Typically, this first 4 cases we're covering this week are going to be ones that we've covered often, but it's just been too long. It's just been way too long.
Yeah, Colton went missing from Russell, Kansas on September 26th of 2008. He was 17 when he went missing. He's now 31. He's 5'9", weighs 135 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. A friend dropped him off at an outdoor skate park in Russell. Colton was supposed to call him back when he wanted to be picked up, but he never did. Initially, authorities believe he left on his own, but his family doesn't believe that because he wasn't having any problems that would cause him to run away. He left his wallet and ID behind, and information that had come out suggested he may have been killed and his body hidden. His case does remain unsolved to this point. If anybody has any information regarding Colton's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Russell County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-483-2151 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. His mom, I've talked to her, and she would prefer that instead of calling those two entities, call the Kansas City field office of the FBI at 816-512-8200 and try to get them involved in the case again, because I guess they were involved at one time, and she would like to get them involved again. So she would prefer the calls go to the Kansas City field office of the FBI. So call them first and then go from there. Yeah, Connie's saying this hurts my heart. We don't know where he is. I'm thinking she's still referring to Kenny.
Yeah. Is that KBI number I have at the bottom of the screen going to be the right one for people to call?
That's for the KBI, but like I said, his mother prefers to call the Kansas City field office of the FBI.
Okay, FBI. Okay.
Yeah, and their number is
we're going straight to the top.
Yeah, and there's 816-512-8200.
816-512-8200. Okay, let me put that on the screen for a minute while we're talking about this. So if anybody knows anything about this case,
yeah.
And the thing is, I think a lot of people know about this case.
Yeah.
There's just, he's 17-year-old kid. He goes missing. He either takes off on his own volition or somebody makes it where he's missing. Yeah. And you have all these stories coming out about, him hiding his body and stuff, which, his poor mother has to hear these rumors. Yeah. But you don't have something like that happen in a little town like Russell and nobody know about it. So we're calling on you, Russell. We're calling on you tonight. If you're out there, if you feel convicted to say something, there's a number on the screen.
Yep, and it's long overdue. It's way overdue for somebody to speak up, and do the right thing and say, hey, this is the information we have that we know that happened, and this is who's responsible.
Make yourself feel better. Get this off of your chest. 816-512-8200. It's just sad. His poor mom.
Yeah, it's been a little over 13 years now, so it's time to do the right thing.
Right. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is thinking of running from home, has run away, or if you are a runaway ready to go back home, call 1-800-RUNAWAY. That's 1-800-786-2929.
I wanted to talk about Dietrich again, because this is, this is this horrible case. And, the governor does have a $5,000 reward on Dietrich Foster's case. So I wanted to bring that one up again, too.
Yeah, he's missing from Independence, Kansas since April 12th of 2020. He was 37 when he went missing. He's 39 now. He's 5'9", 190 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He was reported missing on May 12th of 2020. He was last seen on the 12th of April in Independence. KBI agents and detectives from the Independence Police Department are conducting the case as a homicide based on upon findings during the investigation into Foster's disappearance. Again, he was 37 when he went missing. He's 39 now, 5'9", weighs 190 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. And if anybody has any information regarding Dietrich's disappearance, or where he may be, call the Independence, Kansas Police Department at 620-332-1700 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And again, to Derek's point, there is a governor's reward of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the disappearance and suspected murder of Dietrich Foster. So again, it's time to speak up, do the right thing, and talk. And let's bring him home.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, and I'll put we can put the KBI number on this one?
Yeah, just KBI Independence, please.
What's that at? Okay. Yeah, that's the KBI number on the screen, 785-296-4017. There's 5,000 reasons to say something about this, but really the main important reason that you should say something about this, if you know something about this case, is because hopefully you're a decent person and hopefully you respect Dietrich's family enough to let them know what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Anytime we're talking about where the governor's like, we need information on the possible, murder, when all we're seeing on the flyer is missing, like there's obviously some pieces of this story that aren't quite too public yet, but it's enough to say that there's something going on. And if you know something about it, you need to say something.
Yep, definitely. Please do.
He looks like just like a nice guy, man. Like,
yeah.
April 12th, 2020. I don't know. If you know something seriously, like it's time to say something. It's enough.
Definitely.
Okay, so now the flyers from here on out are going to look a little sketchy because I made them and Brandon did make them. But they're going to get the job done, and we're going to get Brandon's computer back up and running soon.
Yeah. Kelly is saying she's really late. You're not really late. I mean, we've only covered 4 flyers so far.
Yeah,
so.
You're good.
You're good.
Thanks for being here, Kelly. Let's talk about Elijah.
Okay. He's missing from Wichita, Kansas since November 10th of 2021. He's 17 years old. He's 6 foot tall, weighs 195 pounds, has black hair, brown eyes. It is believed he may still be in the local Wichita area. He does have connections to the Kansas City, Missouri area as well as other areas. Again, he's 17 years old. He's 6 foot tall, weighs 195, has black hair and brown eyes. And if anybody has any information regarding Elijah's disappearance or his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get some information generated as to where Elijah may be and get him back to where he needs to be.
Yeah. Starting to get cold, people.
Yeah, it's getting there. Definitely getting there.
Might be able to get by being outside for a little bit, but not much longer.
Yep.
So if anybody sees Elijah, he needs a place to stay. We need to get him in a house. House.
Yep. And Kelly is saying, "Oh wow, hi." Hi, Kelly.
So now, this is our featured case. I named the episode after Anthony tonight. We've covered this one a few times. Salina's a lot bigger than I think, man, because I went there once. I think I've only been to Salina once, and I remember it being pretty large. But like, you guys have a lot of unsolved crimes, big missing cases. Talk about Anthony Patrick.
This one is pretty perplexing to me. He's missing from here in Salina since August 17th of 1987. He was 36 when he went missing. He'd now be 71. He is 5'9", weighs 160 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen by a family at Jerry Ivy Park in Salina, Kansas on August 17th of 87. His wife saw him driving east on his way home from work at Beach Aircrafts, which is under a new name now. She followed him to the park. He stopped near the restrooms and spoke to her. He was surprised to see her and told her he was not feeling well. She tried to convince him to let her drive him home, but he refused. She left him to get help from her brother. And when she came back to the park, he was gone. His car was still parked by the restrooms. It was locked with all his belongings inside, including his lunch that he had taken to work with him. And he did not show up to work the next day, and he hasn't been heard from again since. His social security number, credit card, and bank accounts have not been used, and he has not contacted any of his family. He was devoted to his 2 children, and it is uncharacteristic of him to leave without warning. He is originally from New York, where his parents, who are Italian immigrants, live. He's been in Salina for about 9 years prior to his disappearance. His family fears he may have become homeless. They distributed missing persons flyers in New York and Florida, where his sister lived, but he has never been found, and his case is still unsolved, of course. If you have any information regarding Anthony's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can get some information generated as to what may have happened to him. And I have had an occasion to talk to his wife a couple of times about it, and I'm trying to work with her on getting some better quality photos of Anthony than what we have here. I mean, they're decent, but I would like some that are a little bit better. And I'm working with her. I'm trying to get some, and I can tell you, even after all these years and talking to her, it's still very, very hard for her to talk about it. It's very hard for her to talk about it. I've even invited her to be on the show, and she thanked me and said it's just too hard to talk about right now. So maybe someday in the future she might, but we'll have to see.
So this is just me. Okay, and this might be me being like,
dumb phone.
I don't know. I don't know what this makes me, but I'm just trying to think here.
Yeah.
So I see this last name, and I see Salina, Kansas, and that's not a name that I would, think of like a Kansas name, So then you say would you say he's an Italian immigrant?
Yes, his parents were Italian immigrants, yes.
Okay, but where was he from?
Originally from New York.
Okay, so this is just me who has watched way too much TV in my life. We got this guy who's from New York. His parents are, of Italian descent, and he all of a sudden lives in the middle of the country. Is there any chance there was like some kind of witness protection thing going on or something like? I mean, then I watch way too much TV, but I mean, you just see like an Italian last name. He's from the city and he's in Salina, and then he just goes missing one day. I mean,
I don't know. I've never heard any information, to that degree, so I have no idea.
And again, that's just me.
Yeah.
Just watching too much TV. It's 33 here. Everyone's needs to come. Yeah, we need to get we need to get some people in here.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was just thinking that when you were reading the flyer. I'm like that, and again, that could be nothing at all, but I'm just saying like,
yeah.
Well, where did you say this was again? Where did he go? What was the park he was at when he went missing?
Jerry Ivy Park, which I drive by there frequently.
Jerry Ivy?
Yeah. It's one of 2 ways I go back and forth to work, so I drive by there pretty regular.
Is there any water there?
There was a duck pond in there, but I don't think it existed there at the time that he went missing.
Okay, so nothing like that there would need to be... Because, that's one of the things, too, when you have a missing person that long, and there's no explanation why they're missing. What's that other guy's name that his father passed away, and we were hoping that we could... Randy Leach? Yeah, it's like you're just wondering, with as much water there was around where Randy would have been driving that night, you just wonder if maybe he took a wrong turn somewhere, So I was just wondering if maybe there was like a body of water somewhere that he could have, maybe gone that we just haven't found him. But I don't know. It's very puzzling.
That is a working theory on Randy Leach's case. Is apparently there was a river that he would have had to have passed on or crossed on the way home, I guess, and they're thinking maybe he might have took a wrong turn and went down into the river.
If you send me his flyer, I'll make a flyer real quick for it. We can cover Randy's case. But that just made me think of that, maybe, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a reason why Anthony would, 1, be spooked, 2, be like going to a restroom in a park when he sounds like, I said with Salina's big, but it's not that big. I'd have to be pretty far away from home to go to the bathroom at the park. You know what I mean? It's just a lot. It's real fishy. I wonder what happened. But it just, you look at, he was a 36-year-old man, he's 2 years younger than me. and had kids, had a family, and you feel bad that Anthony has been missing this long, and you wonder, what heartache he's gone through. But then you just think about those kids and his wife.
Which case are you talking about, Don? Just on the foul play thing? Is that on Anthony's case or another case?
Yeah, fill us in on that. We'd love to know. But
because that's something I haven't heard. Oh, yep. In Randy's case, she said, okay, Randy Leach's case. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, send me that flyer on Facebook. I'll make one real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, anybody has any information? We got the KBI number at the bottom of the screen. You know anything about Anthony Patrick's Sinisgalli?
Sinisgalli, yeah.
Sinisgalli. Roxanne says, if you know anything about any of the flyers, please call somebody, even Crime Stoppers. If you're seeing your flyer, please call and get help. Next week is Thanksgiving. These families are very thankful. Thanksgiving. Give these families a very thankful Thanksgiving. No matter how old you are, there are people who care about you.
Right.
And she said, thank you for pronouncing my name right. Ricky is pretty good with names. Ricky's pretty good with names.
And that stems from when I used to be a telemarketer years ago. I used to work really hard on trying to pronounce names as good as I could because I knew if I messed up a name, they were going to hang up on me.
Right.
So, yeah, I tried to do really well with names. And it served me well because now that I'm doing this, I try to do the same thing. I try to make sure I get the names as close as I can as possible.
Right.
And I'm trying to find Randy's flyer.
Well, while you're doing that, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. Hey, share the show. Share the show. Right now, there's 36 people here. We're going to be back in 40 seconds. Let's make it 46. We'll see you right back.
If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, please call the National Human Trafficking Line at 1-888-373-7888.
Heaven Kaler's up next. You sending me something?
I will have it to your just shortly.
Okay, we're going to cover Heaven Kaler. I do have a phone number scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It is for 1-800-RUNAWAY. That has nothing to do with Heaven. I'm just using this time while Ricky's uploading to showcase this number. If you are somebody watching this show and you are missing on your own accord, you are, out on your own. If you need help, you can call 1-800-786-2929. 1-800-786-2929. That's going to be able to get you on the phone with 1-800-RUNAWAY. They can help you out. They can do that. If you don't want to do that, go to a police station, go to a fire department, go somewhere, go to a church, go somewhere. But don't be out there on your own longer than you need to be. And Ricky's going to cover this case here in just a moment. We're just getting
I'm just trying to make sure I have the correct updated age for Randy real fast because I don't want to say he's now and be wrong.
I felt like we covered Heaven recently.
It's been quite some time. I was asked last night. Yeah, I was asked last night to cover her and Michaela Emerson.
So definitely has she been missing this whole time, or was she found? And
nope, she's been missing all this time.
She's been missing all this time. Okay, well, I can read her flyer.
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay, it's Heaven's Kaler. Go ahead.
I was just saying, for what I've been told, as far as her and both Michaela Emerson go on both of their cases, so we can cover Michaela's after hers.
Okay, for sure.
So there hasn't been any new leads or information at all come in on her. It's the well's kind of dried up on those two. So we want to get them out there again and get their information out there and see if we can't get somebody talking.
Right. And we have Heaven Kaler from Fort Scott, Kansas, missing since June 24th, 2021. Too long, y'all. 17 years old, height 5'7" to 5'10", weight 130 to 140. Hair is dirty blonde and eyes are blue. Heaven Kaler is a missing, endangered runaway who went missing from Fort Scott, Kansas on June 24th, 2021. If you have any information regarding Heaven's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Fort Scott, Kansas Police Department at 620-223-1700 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
Right.
Yeah, June 24th. It's a little while, y'all. That is a little while.
Okay, just sent you Randy's.
Okay, I'll get that one going. And then you said that we were going to cover
Michaela
after.
Emerson.
Let me go ahead and bring that up and
Yep.
go ahead and read Michaela's flyer.
Okay. Michaela's missing from Kansas City, Kansas since July 17th, 2021. She's 15 years old. She is 5'5". She weighs 115 to 120. She has blonde, light brown hair and blue eyes. And let's see here. It's believed that, let me make sure I got this information correct here.
Right.
It's thought that she might be in the Goodland, Kansas area. Again, she's 15 years old. She's 5'5", weighs between 115 and 120. She has blonde, light brown hair and blue eyes. So if you have any information regarding Michaela's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't figure out where Michaela is and get her located back to where she needs to be. And again, it's thought that she may be in the Goodland, Kansas area. So if you have any connections in the Goodland area, get that flyer circulating around Goodland.
Right. And I got this going. 1 second. Okay. All right. So now we're going to cover Jacob Soltis.
Okay. And this is another one I was requested to reshare as well. His and Dakota Gilmer. Let's see. Jacob Soltis is missing from Denver, Kansas since October 16, 2021. He's 17 years old. He is 6'3.5" tall, 160 pounds. He has reddish blonde hair and light brown eyes. It is believed he may still be in the Andover area, or he could also be in the Pratt, Kansas area, or traveling to West Virginia. Again, he's 17. He is 6'3.5" and weighs 160 pounds. He has reddish blonde hair and light brown eyes. He has a tattoo of 3 small crosses on the left side of his neck and a tattoo of a bird on his left hand, a tattoo of a rose on his right hand, and a tattoo of the word blessed on his fingers. If you have any information regarding Jacob's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Butler County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 316-320-1294 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And Butler County Sheriff also has a toll-free number of 866-484-5924 as well, so you can use that one as well. See if we can't get Jacob found and back to where he needs to be, because what I'm understanding is he's another one where leads are pretty much drying up on him as well. So we need to try to get as much information generated on him as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother says Goodland is a long way from Kansas City, Kansas. Yeah, it definitely is. It's almost clear out to the western border of Kansas out there. So,
yeah. Let's talk about Jacob Gilmer.
Okay, Dakota Gilmer. Let's see, he's missing from actually Wichita, Kansas, but he's from Park City. Been missing since October 17, 2021. He's 17. He is 5'8" to 6'2". He weighs between 160 and 170 pounds. He has. I'm gonna change this up. It says dirty blonde, and I'm gonna say dark blonde instead, and blue eyes. It's believed he may still be in Park City, or he may still be in Wichita. Again, he's 17 years old. He's 5'8" to 6'2". He weighs between 160 and 170 pounds. He has dark blonde hair and blue eyes. He has a tattoo of an arrow on his right forearm. If you have any information regarding Dakota's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get him found and back to where he needs to be, because it's been over a little over a month now. So let's get him found and back to where he needs to be as well.
His hair is exactly like my son Race's hair.
Yeah.
Like exactly. My son's hair is like, it's like, how do you comb that? You just, it's like you just have you have that hair that's like curly, you know? It's like you just kind of run your hands through it, and that's what it looks like. My son every morning for school, and my son likes to keep his hair long just like that. And that's about what his hair looks like every day. It's got curly hair. But yeah, we've been covering him, since last month, and
need
to get the word out.
And I have absolutely no issues with covering somebody again and again and again until they're found, because the more we get them out there and the more we talk about them, the better the chance of getting them found is.
Right.
So,
well, let's go ahead and talk about John Dale.
John Dale Pendergraft Jr. Another one that's missing from Wichita, Kansas since September 4th of 2021. He's 38, 6 foot tall, weighs 205 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. He does wear glasses, and he has quite a few tattoos, as you can see from those photos. And if anybody has any information regarding John's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4111 or 316-263-6011. There's too many ones. Or the KBI at 785-296-4017. I'm going to repeat that first phone number for Wichita, Kansas Police Department, 316-268-4111. I got tongue-tied the first time. Make sure you got all them ones in there. But yeah, if you have any information or know where he's at, call it in and let them know. Even if it's just a little piece of something, let them know, because it may be, what they need to find him. So please do that.
Right. We're just going to cover a couple more, and then we're going to take another break. We do appreciate people for hanging out.
We got a request for Dana Bruce as well. So,
okay.
And I know you have that flyer. You should.
I'll get it. I can go to the page and get it. Go ahead and cover Cameron, and I'll work on getting
Cameron. Yep, he's missing from Lawrence, Kansas since November 3rd of 2021. He's 15. He's 5'8", 160 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He's last seen in Lawrence on November 3rd. If you have any information regarding Cameron's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Lawrence, Kansas Police Department at 785-832-7509 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get some information generated on him and get him back to where he needs to be also. Hopefully we can find him.
Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and cover Rosalinda Vasquez real quick.
Okay.
Kentucky case.
Yep. Just give me a second here. Trying to get Dana Bruce's flyer pulled out real fast while I have a second. Okay. Rosalinda Vasquez. I'm going to find her on my list now. She is missing from Radcliffe, Kentucky. She went missing on August 24th of 2020. She was 15 when she went missing. She would now be 16. She's 5 foot tall, weighs 150 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. She had indicated that she may attempt to harm herself. She used to live in Junction City, Kansas, and it's unknown if she may try to return to Junction City. Again, she was 15 when she went missing. She's now 16. She's 5 foot tall, 150 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She may wear glasses. She was last known to be wearing a blue jacket with a crest on the right front area. If you have any information regarding Rosalinda's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Radcliffe, Kentucky Police Department at 270-351-4470 or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-843-5678 and see if we can't get Rosalinda located and found, and hopefully she's safe wherever she may be at. Let's just see if we can't help get her found.
Right.
It's been over a year now, so.
Yeah.
Emma's saying I'm late, but I'm here. Well, thank you for being here, Emma. We
I'm
greatly
glad you're here,
appreciate it.
Emma. You're watching KMU Pod. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
This is Shayla Grace. Not sure the exact pronunciation, but I'm going to go with Demir. She's missing from Olathe, Kansas since November 11th, 2021. She's 18. She's 5'2", 100 pounds. She has brown hair with purple highlights and blue eyes. She was seen getting into an unknown individual's car in the 1000 block of South Harrison Street in Olathe. They drove off with her purse on the roof of the car about 1 o'clock that afternoon. Police recovered her purse and returned it to her family. She was later seen the same day at Mi Ranchito, I hope I say that right, located in the 900 block of South Harrison Street at about 4 o'clock that afternoon. She then left there and was seen at the South Forks Apartments. Information was received that a female matching Shayla's description was seen at the Santa Barbara Estates Mobile Home Park off of Ridgeview Road south of 119th in Olathe on the evening of November 16th, wrapped in a blanket with black sweatpants on. She'd indicated to the person that she could not find her way home several times and seemed confused. She does not have her required medication, cell phone, or any personal belongings with her. She was last known to be wearing a gray hoodie with green writing about basketball on it and gray sweatpants and no jacket with white Nike high-top shoes. If you have any information regarding Shayla's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Olathe, Kansas Police Department at 913-782-0720 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get her located and back to where she needs to be, safe and sound. And it's quite concerning how she went missing and the fact that she doesn't have required medications with her or any phone or belongings with her.
Right.
The information that I had said that she needs that required medication to function and to think clearly. So
I do have Dana Bruce loaded, so we can cover her whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully we can get Shayla found and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah.
That one does have me concerned. I mean, all of them have me concerned, but I mean, I guess this one kind of strikes a chord with me because I have two daughters and both have issues that require medication and
right.
to help them function to an extent. And
wow.
So,
yeah. You know me. I'm on a couple pills, right?
Yeah.
I take some stuff too. She says, I just got here too dealing with family issues tonight. Well, we hope that you're well, Diana.
Yeah, hope you got them all ironed out.
Let's talk about Travis Morris.
Okay, and I have another photo for his flare later on in one ad that was just sent to me prior to the show. Travis Morris, missing from Overland Park, Kansas, since November 10th of 2021. He is 42 years old. He's 6'1", weighs 250 pounds. He has brown hair and blue eyes. Travis, who lives in Lawrence, is not answering his cell phone, and messages are sent to his various social media accounts are not being delivered. It's unknown if his phone is dead or shut off. Again, he's 42 years old. He's 6'1", weighs 250 pounds. He has brown hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Travis's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Overland Park, Kansas Police Department at 913-895-6300 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get him located and back where he needs to be. And hopefully wherever he's at, he's safe and sound and just laying low for a little bit or something.
All right.
And as I mentioned, I will be reposting this flyer with an additional photo that was sent to me just prior to the show. So
it could just be, taking a break, like you said, just
going out. For that particular photo, I have to thank Trisha Arnold for that. She sent that to me.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
She's like our YouTube ambassador, and she's also helping out with the show. That's awesome.
Yep.
We got a few more cases left. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and talk about this one's. This is the double flyer. Let's talk about the double flyer here.
Yeah, this one I made for Stevie's daughter, and I've actually been updating it and reposting it quite a few times. And I'm actually an admin on the page that she has set up for her dad as well to try to find him as well. So. Stevie Scott Hammerly is missing from Manhattan, Kansas, August 22nd of 1981. He was 26 when he went missing. He's now 66. He is 5'10" to 6 foot, weighs 165 pounds, has light brown blonde hair and blue eyes. Joseph Grashner is also missing from Manhattan, same date. He was 21 when he went missing. He's now 62. I have not been able to pinpoint a height and weight for him. I have tried and tried and tried, and I have just not been able to do that. I just recently was able to nail down that he had light brown blonde hair and blue eyes like Stevie. So.
Right.
But Steve and Joe went missing from a birthday party on August 22nd, 1981 in the 1000 block of Points Avenue in Manhattan, Kansas.
What?
They were taken by two individuals from the party in a red van. The individuals were not at the party. They showed up later. Stevie was paralyzed from the waist down and confined to a wheelchair. Stevie has no upper teeth as they were removed due to cluster headaches. Stevie has tattoos of Love Lisa across his knuckles and a small eagle tattoo on his upper right arm and a devil driving on his left forearm. The investigation into Steve Hammerly and Joe Grashner's disappearance is actively being investigated by the Riley County, Kansas Police Department, and foul play is strongly suspected. If you have any information regarding the disappearances of Stevie or Joe, please call the Riley County, Kansas Police Department at 785-537-2112 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we cannot help get those two found. And as of this time, of course, Stevie and Joe are still missing, and the red van they were taken in has never been recovered either. So it's still missing as well.
Wow.
Yep. Kind of sketchy. And the Love Lisa that crosses knuckles is, I'm pretty sure, for his daughter because his daughter's name is Lisa. So.
Oh, that's interesting. Birthday party, huh?
Do what?
So a birthday party they were at, and then they've just been missing since a birthday party. That's wild.
Yeah, two people came and, for whatever reason, took them from the party, and they've yet to be found or seen or heard from since that time, and it's been 40 years. So,
jeez,
40 long years.
Well, these are a couple cases that came up tonight due to the show. We're going to talk about Randy Leach now, and this is the first time I'm seeing the updated flyers, I think.
Yeah. Randy Leach went missing from Linwood, Kansas on April 15th, 1988. He was 17 when he went missing. He would now be 51. He is 6'3", 220, had brown hair and blue eyes. He was reported missing on April 16th. He had a 12:30 a.m. curfew at the time he vanished and usually honored it. He left his home at 6:30 p.m. to attend a friend's pre-graduation party in a rural area 5 miles east of her residence on April 15th, 1988. Before arriving at the party, he stopped at Stout's convenience store and purchased some candy, soda, and gas. He talked to some friends and went to DeSoto to check on the car he was restoring. As a result of these errands, Randy did not arrive at the party until between 9:30 and 10. His parents did not realize that Randy had not come home until they woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning on April 16th. They first thought he had been in a car accident and called one of his friends who said she hadn't heard from him. Randy's parents contacted police. Investigators went to the site of the party that Randy had attended, but it had already been cleaned up and there was no evidence to be found. Witnesses at the party believe Randy departed between 1:15 and 2 a.m., but no one actually saw him leave. At the time he was last seen, he was too drunk to walk straight. He apparently left driving his mother's gray four-door 1985 Dodge sedan with Kansas license plate LVJ8721. He never returned home and has not been heard from again. He was carrying $50 cash at the time of his disappearance, and the vehicle that he was driving, his mom's car, has never been located either. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Randy Leach or know of his whereabouts, please call the Leavenworth County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 913-682-5724 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get some information generated as to what may have happened to Randy. I mean, there's been a lot of rumor, a lot of speculation. Some people thought maybe, we were talking about it, I think a little bit before the show, I think it was, or even during the show, that he had to cross a bridge to get home. And it was thought that maybe he, missed the bridge and went into the water. I know Adventures with Purpose has been going to Linwood to visit with his mom and his now deceased dad, and doing some water searches over in that area and trying to see if they could pinpoint what happened to him. And so far, they haven't turned up anything yet, but I believe they're planning on some more searches out that way too. So,
is it like a pond, river? Or is it like a pond, lake, or a moving river?
It's a moving river.
So that's the bad part. Is
Yeah.
With water, who knows how far something could move in 20, 30 years.
And I know Dennis Rubble with Muddy Waters Search and Recovery, he's planning on going out that way and doing some searching too. So I watched one of his updated videos this morning, and he was talking about in the springtime going out and doing some searches, and that was one of the cases he had named that he was going to go out and do search in some areas.
Right.
So, yeah. I think that's what leads him to believe that, I've seen a comment by Diana saying that the car hasn't been located, and that's what made them, a lot of theories about him going into the water and the car maybe missing, being that he was intoxicated, missed the bridge and went into the water. Trisha is saying Stranger Creek was the bridge that he crossed. Yeah, there's one pond on private land, would not allow access on the land. Okay. I think I heard something about that. I'm not sure, but And Nikki Sue commented that Matthew Holsey is still missing from Columbia, Missouri.
Double T over here says 40 years is too long. And then he says had to be foul play.
Yeah. Yipper. Definitely way too long.
Terry's our backup to Bruggy if anything happens to Ricky.
There is a podcast dedicated to Matthew Holsey's case. What's the name of that podcast? And I'll give it a listen.
Wow. Well, here we have one more case to cover. Then we do got a located safe video we're going to do. It's not going to be as good as Brandon's, but it'll be a located safe. The message is still there that we've some people were found this week. Let's talk about Dana Bruce.
Okay. Did you have Malachi Rogers in the lineup tonight? I thought I saw him in the lineup.
I do not have that. Okay. I can look for it though.
Okay, Dana Jane Bruce went missing from Sedalia, Missouri, October 4th, 2008. She was 23 when she went missing. She would now be 36. She is 5'2", weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair and green or hazel eyes. She went missing from Sedalia, obviously. She was last seen at her children's babysitter home in Sedalia. She left her children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. Dana was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with the men at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man Dana was with on the night she vanished. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Bruce after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana had parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She doesn't have credit cards, debit cards, a checking account, a cell phone, or a car. Again, at the time she went missing, she was 23. She would now be 36. She's 5'2" and weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair that is colored brown at the roots and black at the ends with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel in silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. Dana has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or their toll-free number 866-362-6422 and see if we can't generate some information as to what happened to Dana and where she may be so she can be brought home.
Yeah. Way too long. I did find Malachi Rogers' flyer.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and cover that. And then I got a located safe video for everybody.
Sure. Malachi is missing from Wichita, Kansas since October 18th of 2021. He's 17. He's 6'3" to 6'4". He weighs between 200 and 230 pounds. He has brown hair and blue eyes. It's believed he may be traveling to Texas, California, Nevada, just about anywhere. So I do want to ask anybody in the over-the-road truck driving community, get this flyer out there. Post it in truck stops, whatever you got to do. To help get him found. Again, he's 17, 6'3", 6'4", weighs between 200 and 230 pounds. He has brown hair and blue eyes. If anybody has any information as to where Malachi may be, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can't get him found and back to where he needs to be. And again, I implore you to, anybody in the trucking community, get this flyer to them so it can be posted in truck stops in, Oklahoma, Texas, Nevada, California, just about anywhere. And see if we can't get him found and back to where he needs to be.
Right.
I have noticed he has commented on his flyer a couple times, and
well, it's always good to know that they're alive.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and roll this. We're running out of time here. Let's go ahead and roll this located safe video. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back right after this. Couple of comments I wanted to get to tonight. They were talking about that 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 body of water. Where was that? There was a body of water that they wouldn't let. Yeah, the pond that would not allow access to. A couple of comments. How Diana said, "How could someone not allow access when looking for him?" Exactly. I mean, that's so. But I mean, again, like it would have to be a pretty deep conspiracy for, like, first of all, whoever happened to own that property in 1988 would have to still own it to be like, you can't get in there. I don't want you to see anything. And that person would have had to have like something to do with something in 1980. So I mean, there's a lot of like. Maybe the person that owns the property is just like, I don't care. I just don't want anybody digging through my. Maybe they have their own reasons why. But I don't know. It is kind of fishy that people don't let you. They won't let anybody search. I mean, because that could just solve a lot of people's questions just looking in that one body of water.
Yeah, good. Definitely. Yeah, Nikki, I see your comments there. Yeah, we'll definitely cover Matthew Halsey next time. I know we've covered him before, so we'll cover him again. And then Kylan Stubler, I did a flyer for him quite a while ago. I'll need to update it and get it reposted.
Kaylee Knox is here,
and we'll cover him next week too. So I've got their names on my list here, so
right,
we'll definitely get to them next time.
Yeah. So he's Ricky Terry Backup Trebuggy says, saw that situation with the pond on the Adventures with Purpose YouTube channel, and they flat out refused to let them search. It was strange. But then you also have to take consideration. Like I have family that is like a farmhouse in the country of Kansas that you would have to do a lot of explaining. Like if you went to one of my relatives' house with like drones and cameras and nobody knew who you were, and like Adventures with Purpose, they're a pretty decent sized YouTube channel. They're showing up with gear. Right. I could see how that could make some old farmer nervous. Like, what do you want to look at my property? They're like, oh, something that happened in 1988. They're like, get out of here. What are you filming my? A lot of farmers, they don't want people on their property. People are private. There's a reason they live out in the middle of nowhere. They don't want anybody to know about anything about their house. So I think it might just be a situation where somebody might be like just not really understanding the full scope of what it's about. Maybe they just have their own privacy, but there always could be the situation that maybe there's something to do with that body of water. But right. How far is it away from where he would have been driving anyway?
That I'm not sure on. I'm not sure what the mileage would be. It must have been on the way or something, or they wouldn't want to search it, I would imagine. But I'm not sure where it sits in proximity to the river or his house, or creek or his house or anything like that.
Diana says, but it could give family some answers. That's just selfish if it had nothing. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why somebody wouldn't let you search out. But even then, like I've seen those. There's drone footage where they've found cars in ponds of bodies of water because of drone footage. Like, take a drone over it at least, or something on a sunny day. Maybe see if you can see something over it. But maybe they don't. Maybe you can probably get in trouble for taking a drone over somebody's property.
Oh, I'm sure
that's not legal.
Yeah.
We are good, Kaylee Knox. How are
you? Doing good, Kaylee. Doing good. Good and tired. No.
Right. Oh, so we are getting ready to get out of here. We want to tell you a few things. Find us on all the podcast apps out there. You can see them at the bottom of the screen there. And Ricky, have you decided, since you're the boss over here at Back Home Media, have you decided what our work schedule is going to be like for next week? Are we doing a show? When are we doing a show? What's the story?
I think I mentioned it last week, but starting tomorrow, I'm doing a 6-day stretch, and my next day off won't be until Thanksgiving Day. But I think we can still pull off a show on Tuesday night because I get off early enough to where I can get home and get things set up and get on. So I think we will go ahead and do the show on Tuesday, which would be November 23rd.
Well, the thing we got working for us is my wife's birthday's on Tuesday, so I'll be off. Mm-hmm. So my wife, I'm going to wake up and spend some time with her, rub her feet, watch a movie, give it about 90 minutes to 2 hours. She'll be tired of me. And she'll be like, okay, go to your office and get away from me. So I'll have plenty of time to work on stuff on Tuesday.
And Andrea Lynn is saying, thanks for covering Rosalind. It's been too long and her family misses her so much. I hope we can bring her home. We do as well. We hope we can help bring her home too.
So
you're very welcome for us covering her again. I don't mind covering her again and again, so we can get people talking.
Right.
That's ultimately what we want, is people talking that may know where she is.
Right. Well, Ricky, is there anything else we need to cover, man?
Not that I can really think of off the top of my head. We're getting ready to approach Thanksgiving next week, so I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving next week. And of course, we'll talk more about that Tuesday, obviously. But it was a pretty good show, and we covered a decent amount of cases, and hopefully we can bring some of these people home, if not all of them.
Yeah.
There's some that have been missing for quite some time, and some not quite as long, but they all need to be found and brought home.
Yep. True story.
Yep, 9:00 on Tuesday night, Diana. Yep, same bat time, same bat channel.
Yep.
Gosh, I'm showing my age again.
No, you want for the 25 people still hanging on.
Yep.
This will show you Ricky's age, and not even really, because you're older than me. This makes sense for me, for my generation. Before the show, Ricky was he watches TV very loudly while we work in the studio, and it drives me and Brandon crazy. And tonight I was working while listening to Good Morning Miss Bliss, a very old, the very earliest rendition of the Saved by the Bell story. Probably the best version of that show, though, honestly.
The junior high years, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it too growing up, man. It was always on. I loved it.
I like the show, and it's sad that Dustin Diamond passed away from lung cancer here not too awful long ago, and they're getting ready to do the second season of the reboot of the show, and they're going to do a tribute to him on, I guess this is the first episode of the second season. They're going to do a tribute to Dustin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
I forgot he passed away. That's so crazy.
Yeah. It took him fast. It didn't take long for that lung cancer to take him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took him fast.
Yeah, and I did actually meet him here in town. Oh, I can't remember how many years ago it's been now. He did a stand-up show here in town. It used to be called JC's Bar and Grill. Now it's called the Speakeasy. He did it, and it was a really good show. He was pretty funny. And got to meet him afterwards, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, good old Screech.
Rest in peace, Screech.
Yeah. Thanks for all you do, and happy Thanksgiving. You're welcome, Lauren. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Yeah, Laura, you have a happy holiday.
And Ellen saying thank you for covering Dana Bruce's case again. She's loved and missed. You're very welcome. And I can tell she is, because everybody asked me, they're starting to comment every week, covered it, can you cover, which we'll gladly cover it again. It's not a problem. You're very welcome. Yeah, Donda, it was really awesome to meet Dustin. He I was kind of blown away at the start of the show. The first thing he said was, I know you're all expecting to see Screech, but I'm a bitter, and I won't use the explicative. This started with an M and an F, so we'll leave it at that. I'm a bitter MFer. So I was kind of shocked by that, because there was a lot of kids there, because thinking Saved by the Bell, Screech, so there was a lot of kids there. So
right.
I was like, oh boy. But yeah, he was fun to meet afterwards and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have to next week, when we do the show next week, I'll make sure to upload the picture and show the picture. It's pretty cool.
That'd be cool, man. Yeah, we should do that next week. You should upload the Screech picture.
Yep, I'll do that. Yep. Matter of fact, I might even have it on this. I have it on my computer.
We gotta get out of here, but next week we'll do that on the Tuesday show, on the Thanksgiving week show.
Yeah, we will definitely do that, because it's worth showing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep, it's on my computer, so I'll be able to share it real fast next week.
Okay.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank everybody for being here and sharing the cases with us and going over them with us. And, hope to see you all again on Tuesday night on November 23rd. And until then, stay safe. God bless. Take care. And we will see you then.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.